Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. As you guys know, about a month or so ago, Chauncey Billups was arrested by the FBI. Not just him, other names like Damon Jones and Terry Rozier and 30 plus other individuals into this probe that the FBI is doing in the NBA into illegal gambling. So this morning I was just going through the internet here, and I came across this report here that pretty much caught me off guard, and it's from Sam Amick, and I'm going to show you the tweet. Rather, it says news: Chauncey Billups has hired renowned trial lawyer Mark Mukasey to defend him in the federal investigation into illegal gambling. The Athletic has learned, right? Much more here on Mukasey's, I hope I'm pronouncing his name properly, background, including deep ties to President Trump. So I want to read a little bit about what the article says. It says NBA coach Chauncey Billups hired defense attorney who worked with Trump and Giuliani. It then continues on. Mukasey, a former prosecutor for the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York, who specializes in white-collar defense, is the son of former U.S. Attorney General Michael Mukasey. He has a long history in taking on high-profile cases, most notably as an attorney for President Donald Trump in recent years. His defense of Navy SEAL Edward Gallagher in 2019 led to an acquittal of murder charges. Mukasey also represented Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX, during sentencing following Bankman-Fried's conviction on fraud and conspiracy charges. Mukasey also represented a key figure in the NBA's ongoing investigation surrounding the LA Clippers, Joe Sandberg. Sandberg is the co-founder of the aspiration company that agreed to pay Clippers for Kawhi Leonard up to $48 million for a no-show endorsement deal, which later sparked allegations of salary cap circumvention. Sandberg pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud in relation to a scheme that defrauded investors of $248 million. In Billups' case, Mukasey takes over for the attorney Chris Haywood, who handled the coach's arraignment, and released a statement professing Billups' innocence on October the 23rd. The 49-year-old Billups was indicted for his alleged participation in a wide-ranging, years-long scheme to defraud card players in poker games that was said to have involved numerous members of the Bonino, Gambino, Lucchese, and Genovese crime families. His alleged role in the rigged poker game scheme dates to 2019, according to the indictment. He was part of a game that year that took at least $50,000 from victims, prosecutors say. Billups, who has been placed on unpaid leave by the NBA, was not charged in the indictment of Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier that is centered on sports betting, but he does not match the description of the co-conspirator, and who prosecutors say tipped off Eric Ernest that the Blazers would rest top players ahead of the March 2023 game. The co-conspirator is described by prosecutors as a resident of Oregon who played in the NBA from 1997 to 2014 and has been the coach since 2021. Billups played in the NBA from 1997 to 2014, and the Blazers hired Billups as their head coach in June 2021. Billups' arraignment in the Eastern District of New York City is tentatively set for November 24th. So this is pretty serious, right? And Chauncey Billups is taking this situation very seriously, as he should be, right? As he should be, because folks, look, this is a very serious matter, and people's lives are on the line. People's lives are on the line, and I think that this situation needs to be taken with extreme seriousness. It's not a laughing matter, and it's not something that we're just going to sit over here and chuckle about and, oh, maybe it's going to go away. No. This thing isn't going away, guys. It's absolutely not going away. As a matter of fact, I believe it's actually picking up steam. I believe that this situation is picking up steam, and I'm going to tell you why. Just this weekend, we did a live show reacting to the news that the NBA is launching an investigation into multiple teams. And one of those teams is the Los Angeles Lakers, right? The Lakers are being investigated, and they're trying to figure out who was the person at the Lakers that was giving this insider information to bettors. Meaning, who was Damon Jones speaking to with the Lakers that he was getting that information from in terms of players' availability and all of that, and sharing it with individuals outside the team. And the names that have been brought up are Coach Mark, I think, Mancias and Randy Mims. Well, Randy Mims is a close associate of LeBron James, right? Of LeBron James. Now, maybe in other cases, these guys will try to dial it back a bit and say, oh, no, we're not going to go this far. But in this particular case, they're going all the way. All the way, and they're not going to stop. I want to quickly read from an ESPN article that was published on the 16th, just yesterday. It says, firm seeks records from players, teams, in NBA gambling inquiry. Listen to this. An independent law firm hired by the NBA has requested records from individuals and teams as a part of the league's investigation into the legal gambling allegations laid out in a federal indictment that resulted in the arrest of Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and former player and coach Damon Jones, an NBA spokesperson confirmed to ESPN. The investigation's latest steps were first reported Saturday by The Athletic. Listen to this. The NBA engaged an independent law firm to investigate the allegations in the indictment once it was made public. A league spokesperson told ESPN and other outlets in a statement, as is standard in these kinds of investigation, a number of different individuals and organizations were asked to preserve documents and records. Everyone has been fully cooperative. Listen to this. Multiple teams have been contacted by investigators, including the Los Angeles Clippers, sources told ESPN Shams. Lakers assistant trainer Mike Mancias and executive administrator Randy Mims are among approximately a dozen team employees who have been contacted and are cooperating with the investigation, sources said. The Athletic reported that Mancias and Mims voluntarily gave their cell phones to investigators. Mancias and Mims and Jones have long relationships with LeBron James, who is not named in the indictment and has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Federal prosecutors accused Jones of selling non-public information about the Lakers players to gamblers during the 2022-23 season and 23-24 seasons, claiming in one case that he got the details from a trainer. Prosecutor described Jones as an unofficial assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers during the 2022-23 season in the indictment. The following season, prosecutors alleged that Jones claimed that he learned from a team trainer that a key player from the Lakers was injured and would likely be limited in a January 15, 2024 game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. According to the indictment, Jones relayed the information to a co-defendant, Eric Ernest, who gave the details to a co-defendant, Marv Fairley, a known bettor. Fairley placed a bet of approximately $100,000 against the Lakers, according to the indictment. The Lakers player ended up playing his normal minutes, and Los Angeles won. Fairley, through Ernest, asked Jones to refund the $2,500 he had paid for the information, according to the indictment. Jones pleaded not guilty to wire fraud and money laundering charges last week in federal court in Brooklyn, New York. This is serious, guys. This is serious. They're now taking it a step further. And when you see situations like Chauncey Billups lawyering up with these high-powered lawyers, you know that this is no laughing matter. We're amongst many platforms that have been keeping you guys updated on this news ever since the FBI arrested over 30 members of the NBA community. Amongst them are high-profile names like Damon Jones, Terry Rozier, and of course Portland Trail Blazer coach, former Finals MVP, Chauncey Billups. Right, and when the news first broke, a lot of us were stunned. And then after that, various bits of information started trickling out from sources like Pablo Torre, where he brought up some information about Tyronn Lue, close friend and coach of the Los Angeles Clippers. He was brought into it. Kevin Garnett's name was brought into it. And then just this weekend, we did a live show reacting to the bombshell update from Yahoo Sports, where they essentially said that the NBA is launching an investigation. You got it. An NBA is launching an investigation into multiple teams in the NBA, and one of them includes the Los Angeles Lakers, right? And this is via Sam Amick from The Athletic. And the Lakers specifically, the reason that they're investigating them is because essentially they were trying to figure out where did Damon Jones get the information that he was giving out to these bettors, and they were trying to get to the bottom of that. So they confiscated 10 phones from 10 individuals that work with the Lakers, as well as other documents and stuff like that, to try to get to the bottom of what was going on there. I think amongst the people that was named in this particular report was Randy Mims as well. I think in Mike Mancius or something like that. I don't remember his name exactly, but he's a trained athletic guy. So this morning I was going through the internet here, and I came across some news as it pertains to Chauncey Billups, right? And it's from TotalProSports.com, and I want to read the headline. It says, Chauncey Billups dragged into chaos after report links unnamed coach to illegal betting tips on Blazers. Then continues on. The FBI is currently conducting 2 investigations. One is involved in sports betting, and the other is engaged in illegal poker operations. Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested last month as a part of the FBI's probe into illegal betting activities. It then continues on. Initially, Billups faced charges solely related to a conspiracy to defraud card players. However, The Athletic reported that a description closely matching Billups' profile identified him as a coach who allegedly provided information to bettors, allowing them to place unlawful wagers on the Blazers. And now we have a post here. This is from Legion of Hoops via Sam Amick, as I alluded to before. It says, despite only being charged in criminal defraud card players, then it goes on to reiterate what I just mentioned here. Then it continues on. Billups is accused in participating in a mafia-backed illegal poker operation. Following the arrest, the NBA placed him on administrative leave after Portland's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Reports indicated that he will not receive pay while on leave. It also continues on. Billups' lawyer, Chris Haywood, shared that Terry Rozier's Billups intended to vigorously contest the FBI's charges. Anyone who charges Billups knows that he's a man of integrity, do not cheat or defraud others. To believe that Chauncey Billups committed the act the federal government is alleging is to suggest that he would risk his Hall of Fame legacy, reputation, and freedom. He would not jeopardize those for anything, let alone a card game. Chauncey Billups has never backed down, and he does not intend to do so now. He will fight these allegations with the same determination that defined his 28-year career. We look forward to our day in court, right? So this is the update as it pertains to Chauncey Billups, right? And this is pretty serious. Pretty serious stuff here. And I think this situation here is not going to go away, right? As I said before, and I'm going to reiterate it again. Just 2 days ago, we did a live reacting to the story out of Yahoo, essentially saying that they're now investigating multiple teams in the NBA. Multiple teams, and these guys are not going to stop. And let me tell you why I think the NBA is kicking this up a notch. As you guys know, Adam Silver was summoned down here to Congress to basically explain why this investigation wasn't done more thoroughly. Because remember, the NBA initially investigated Terry Rozier, if you guys remember, and they found no wrongdoing. Then the FBI steps in, and then the next thing you know, he's getting arrested. So the NBA is basically, Adam Silver and these guys are basically feeling the pressure to ensure that they do their due diligence. And don't forget, this isn't the only scandal that hit the NBA this year. We have the first one that kicked it off, something that was spearheaded by Pablo Torre. Pablo finds out of the situation that's going on with the Los Angeles Clippers of Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard, where apparently there was some cap circumvention, and they were trying to get to the bottom of that. And then as the information was first brought to the attention of NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, he said that he didn't even know about the sponsor aspiration. I think a company that gave the Clippers over $100 million or $150 million. You don't know who that, you never heard of that sponsor. So you have that situation there. And then later on, we ended up hearing that the NBA is not going to come to a conclusion of his investigation until after the All-Star game. Well, where's the All-Star game being held? In Los Angeles, in the Intuit Dome Arena. What team plays in the Intuit Dome Arena? The Los Angeles Clippers. And a lot of people are like, you've got to be joking. You have got to be joking. And the reputation of Adam Silver, or rather the perception of Adam Silver right now, is that he's soft. He's a soft commissioner. The reputation out there is that a lot of players walk all over him. He doesn't rule with an iron fist, and therefore there is no respect. So I think Adam Silver is probably doing some image rehabilitation right now. He needs to take this thing seriously, because when you have the federal government, all right, the federal government arresting active coaches and players, you know you have a serious problem. And let me tell you guys something else. This situation isn't stopping, guys. It isn't stopping. They're now combing through various teams, going through the people that they believe may be involved, and trying to get to the bottom of this. And if they find out, right, if they find out that there are more people within these organizations that aided some of these guys and giving them the information, in the example that I gave you with the Damon Jones one, where they now, they confiscated the phones and records of 10 members of the Lakers, well, then that means they're going to get more people, because they want to know just how deep this thing goes. And they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. So this is a very serious matter. In the case of Chauncey Billups, I expected him to say that. Obviously, no one wants to go to jail. Obviously, he's going to, plead not guilty and defend himself, as he should, right? If he believes that he's not guilty and he didn't do anything, he's going to defend himself. And that's the right thing to do. Now, where all of this leads, I don't know, right? It depends on how fervorously the FBI want to follow through with this. But what we do know about the FBI is that they have a very high success rate or conviction rate, because I think their conviction rate is 98% of the time, 98.9 or some number like that. They almost never lose. Now, the last time we just saw them lose was the Diddy case, right? And a lot of people got fired behind that case, because with the amount of resources that was spent, and then to just go out there and lose. But usually they get it right when they come for you, right? They get it right when they come for you. So Michelle Beadle has been on one recently, man. She recently made headlines for her going after Stephen A. Smith, right? And she didn't hide her feelings about it. She went at him brutally, saying that, she's, she's praying for his downfall or something like that, right? She really went at him. And it seems like now she's making news again. Well, the reason she went at him is because he took her time slot at Sirius XM and all of that, but I think most of you guys know that. But a number of years ago, something interesting happened. And this interesting thing had to do with NBA player who was an Oklahoma City Thunder at the time, Josh Giddey, right? And I want to quickly read from an article that was published on May 24th. It says, sources, NBA closed investigation into Thunder's Josh Giddey. The NBA has closed its investigation into Josh Giddey, sources told ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski on Thursday, after police previously determined they would not pursue charges following allegations that the Oklahoma City Thunder guard had an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl. Newport Beach police announced in January that they had been unable to corroborate any criminal activity by Giddey and would not pursue charges. The NBA came to a similar conclusion and closed the investigation, sources told Wojnarowski. The allegations against Giddey surfaced on social media in late November. In a since deleted post, an anonymous social media user said a girl who is seen with Giddey in a video and photographs was a high school junior at the time. The social media account was deactivated since making the post. Newport Beach police opened an investigation on November 29th, and the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said in early December that the league's investigation would take a backseat to the police's process. Giddey, who's 21, has declined to comment about the allegations to continue to play for the Thunder through their run to the Western Conference Finals, averaging 8.7 points, 3.6 rebounds per game play. So that was what was said then. Okay? And that's how that situation concluded. So just when you thought that this thing was done with, out of nowhere, Michelle Beadle decides to take a brutal shot at Josh Giddey on their FanDuel show. So what I want to do is I want to play what what Michelle Beadle had to say. Very short clip, less than 30 seconds or thereabout. So I want you guys to listen to it, and we're going to come back and react to her comments. Take a listen to what she had to say here.
Kids aren't going to All-Star Weekend to watch Josh Giddey play basketball.
I bet one is.
They want to see the best.
I bet one kid is. It's in LA. That's the closest stop to Australia. I guarantee you one kid's there for Giddey. Facts.
That's crazy. I am just saying. I think people want to see stars. People want to see guys that you have jerseys on, not a player from Australia that you don't know much about. You're crazy, Michelle.
I'm sorry. I have to play devil's advocate.
Oh my God.
Chandler, some hot tea, some rest. We'll try not to blow up your phone texting all day. Feel better.
See you guys.
We'll take a quick break. More on the other side.
Beadle.
One guy's going, what?
So you heard what she had to say, right? It was hilarious, man. It was absolutely hilarious. I just want to read through what some people wrote on it, and this thing got a lot of views. It got about almost 700,000 views on Twitter. One guy said the other people on the set couldn't believe what they just heard. Another guy wrote laughing my ass off. Another guy wrote actionable defamation. Okay. One guy said, why she add facts at the end? Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Another guy said, from Sports Nation till now, Beadle is goated for her quick jabs. Another guy said, I don't think she got the joke. Another guy said, I don't even like her, but that was objectively funny. And it just kept on going on and on and on. People were cracking up. It was hilarious, man. It was hilarious because it just came out of like nowhere. Like no one was even thinking about that. At least I wasn't. So for her to just throw it out there and just throw Son under the bus, like she slimed him. You know, she slimed him. But look, at the time when that case originally happened, it made a lot of news, right? It made a lot of headlines. And I remember at the time, one of the people that everybody was clamoring to hear from was Malika Andrews. And I was on holiday that point. I think it was like, I don't remember exactly what month it was, but I was on holiday. And I remember like people like, you got to go live. And not live, do a video, you got to do it. So I did a video in my hotel room. Like, where's Malika Andrews, right? Because at the time, Malika Andrews was covering everybody's story. Brandon Miller, this guy, that guy. So when it came to the Josh Giddey situation, we were all looking for like, where are Malika? Where are you? We were looking for her. So it got so bad that I think ESPN forced her to do a quick segment on it. She had to come out and actually react to it. And I think it was the right thing because she'd be the first one to run up there and start talking about everybody else. So keep it going, right? Keep it going. So I remember that. In the case of Josh Giddey, man, look, you know, Josh Giddey moved on. I think he's playing for the Chicago Bulls right now. The Chicago Bulls are a good team. I think if I look at the standings in the Eastern Conference, I thought they were a good team. Yeah, the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference. They seem to be playing pretty well from what I know. I mean, I don't watch Bulls games. I'm usually watching Lakers games. Let me see if I can look at his stats here. What he's averaging this year. Let me see. Josh Giddey stats. I don't really know his let me see what his stats are. He was a pretty good player when he played for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm actually pulling up his statistics right now. He's having a great year. Josh Giddey for the Chicago Bulls is averaging 22 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, 9.7 assists. Son is balling, and he's having a career year. He is having a career. I mean, he really stepped it up even from last year. And last year, he played 70 games. In the 10 games this year, he's looking really good, shooting 46% from the field, 37% from the three, 77% from the from 3-point line while getting you one steal a game. The guy looks good, 0.5 in blocks. So he's having a hell of a year. But I remember when that story came out, right? I think we all remember when that story came out, and it made a lot of headlines. But for Michelle Beadle to just come out the blue, out of nowhere, like a shark, and just bit this dude like that, I thought that was pretty hilarious. So these are my thoughts on it. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.